What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, and we are here tonight with the review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 5. The episode was titled A Rough Road. You guys, I'm gonna stick it out with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It ain't that good, but again, I've started it. I'm going to finish it, but it's just not the Love and Hip Hop that I'm used to. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. Before we do that, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and not yet subscribed to the channel, then do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell button, hit all the buttons, and stop taking me out on this date and not paying for it at the end of it. So, without further ado, let's discuss Love and Hip Hop, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, kind of a boring episode. Just gonna keep it real with you guys. It wasn't the best episode, but like I said, we're gonna definitely discuss it, right? So this episode, the beginning of it, we start off with the passing of DMX, and we see that Kirk is going to New York. Him and his son Kai, they're heading to New York, you know. And you guys, if you guys didn't see it on YouTube, when they had that big, you know, bike, they had that big, you know, the big bike ride for X in New York. It was all over YouTube that day. I think it was that Saturday, right? It was on a Saturday. And here's the thing that I didn't know about Kirk. Kirk is from New York. Did y'all know that? Let me know in the comment section. Did you guys know that Kirk was from New York? Because I never knew it. So then we see Safari. He's there as well. And Safari is talking about the fact that he's happy to be out of Atlanta and to have a break from Erica, so he will take it. I'm just like, dude, you are the biggest child. So I guess that's what you're saying now, you know, that you went out of the country after your son was born. You took another break from your wife, huh? Okay. Like, I just really can't with Safari. Really can't. So then we see Safari and Kirk. So they sit down for, I guess, like a podcast, right? And they're talking about DMX. Now, here's the thing that caught me off guard. I didn't know that Kirk had an older son. I always thought it was just Kirk Jr. You know, the kids he got with Rashida, that Kelsey girl, Jasmine's little boy Cannon. I thought it was just those kids. I didn't know he had an older son. So, because he was talking about that boy is in his 30 or something like that. I'm like, well, damn, how old is Kirk Jr.? Because I thought Kirk Jr. was at least in his 30s. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, right? So the thing that threw me off in this episode with Kirk was the fact that Kirk is talking about the fact that he hasn't saw him in years. I'm like, how do you not see your kid in years? Now, granted, he does talk about, you know, we'll talk about it a little bit later, right? But then Safari, you know, actually, honestly, Safari is actually getting on my nerves, to be quite honest with you. So he's talking about looking at this situation with Kirk and his son, and now that he's having a son, he doesn't want to have a situation like that. Well, Safari, if you keep up with the shit that you're going up with now, you will. Like, you will. The shit that's going on with you and Erica. Especially the fact that after your baby was born, you dipped out of the country. Your son is actually going to grow up and see that. And he's going to actually grow up and see this damn show. God, I feel bad for them kids when they watch this show as they grow up. Really do feel bad for those kids. So then we later in the episode see Safari. So Safari met up with his mother, and I 100% love his mother. So he tells his mother that Erica's pregnant. We still running with this narrative that Erica only found out that she was pregnant when she was 6 months pregnant. I don't believe that lie. I don't think anybody else believes that lie. But yeah, if Erica and Safari want to say that, let's let them have it. Y'all can have it. We don't believe it. So, so basically, Safari's mom read into him. She's like, you know, marriage is, when you have a marriage, you go through your hiccups, you go through your arguments, you have your tough times, you have your bad times, right? But she said, with Safari, you're the type that will disconnect. Now, I'm not going to beat up on Safari, right? I'm not going to beat up on him too much, but I am going to beat up on him because I'm the same way. Like, I will disconnect. But if I'm in an argument or something with someone, I'll take a minute to calm myself down so that way I don't say anything that's hurtful or make the situation worse, right? That's what I do. I'll just calm down. I'll just be like, you know what, give me a few minutes to be by myself, and then let me read, let me focus my thoughts, let me breathe, let me get everything together, and then we can have a discussion. So I'll give him a little bit of a break, but not that much, right? So then she tells him basically that him tweeting about his marriage to Erica, her getting on social media and having to find that stuff out, it's embarrassing and he needs to stop it. Thank you, mama. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So then let's move back over to Kirk. Now here's what I found interesting about Kirk, right? So Kirk is talking about his son Christopher. I guess Christopher, at some point in his life, he's had his ups, he's had his downs, he's had his struggles, where I guess he's had his bouts with, drug addiction. So Kirk said that, Chris would sometimes call and say he's coming out to Atlanta, but he would never show up. And then the question that I had to myself was, okay, if Chris doesn't come to Atlanta, did you take the time to try to go to New York to see him? Like, that's what threw me off. And then the fact that it's been years since you saw him, I just don't get that as a parent. How do you go years and not see your kids, right? If you gave birth to them, or you helped create them, how do you go years and not see your kids? Some shit I just don't understand, right? Like that's kind of the same situation with my biological mother. She and I have been estranged for, how many years have we been estranged? We've been estranged since I was in my 20s. I want to say, actually, we've been estranged since literally 2010. That's the last time we actually, yeah, it was 2010. 2010 was the last time that we literally sat down and, nope, scratch that, it was 2009. 2009 was the last time that we actually just sat down and had a conversation with each other. We would see each other, but we wouldn't speak. But yeah, we haven't saw each other since 2010. That's 2009. That's been 12 years now. That's been 12 years. I just thought about it. And, I would reach out to her. I still do sometimes, and she doesn't always respond to me. So now I'm at the point where it's just like, whatever. I don't care, but I just don't understand how a parent can do that to your kid. You're the reason we're here. We didn't ask you to be here. You did it. Now we'll say that the scene with them getting together, Kirk seeing his granddaughters, them meeting Kirk and Kai was a cute scene, right? I'm still stuck on the timeline. How in the hell do you not see your kid? And I can see it if a year goes by because of COVID, but god dang, anything past that, I just don't get it. But we're gonna move on. All right, you guys, so we are finally 5 episodes in and we are introduced to Rennie Rucci. Rennie Rucci. I was looking at her, especially when they showed her kids, right? I was looking at Rennie Rucci, I'm like, how old are you? Like, I was just literally thinking about that, like, how old are her? Because when we saw her kids, I'm like, damn, your kids look like they are either teenagers or preteens at the least. How old is Rennie Rucci? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, right? So like I said, we're introduced to Rennie Rucci. She says she is the biggest. I don't know what that meant. That's what she said, the biggest. And that she set the tone for a lot of things we hear. I'm like, what tone? For what things we hear? Like, what artists are you trying to compare yourself to? And then when I heard her music, I'm like, okay, she kind of sounds her style. I'm not saying she sounds like her style to me. It sounded a little bit like Megan Thee Stallion, but I'm like, if you saying that because you sound a little bit like Megan, but you don't, I don't know what tone you set. Because honestly, I had never heard of Rennie Rucci before this show. So I don't know what tone she set for what we hear, but go off. If you believe it, I'm gonna let you believe it. But no, ma'am. So we also find out that she's from South Carolina, right? So her mom is in South Carolina, and then her kids stay with her mom while she's working. When she's on tour. And the reason why her kids are there, I was like, ooh. I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, ooh, I think people gonna eat you alive on social media. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I felt that way about people gonna eat her alive on social media. Because you guys remember with Akbar V, everybody ate Akbar V alive for not having her kids. People actually still bring that shit up, the fact that she does not have her kids. So I'm like, is this gonna be an Akbar V situation? I'm like, please don't let it be an Akbar V situation, right? But you know, she says that her kids are there with her mom because they're in school, and she doesn't want to take them on the road with her, which I understand that. But aren't your kids? But with COVID, well, it's Atlanta, so the kids might actually be in school. So I guess I'll give her that, right? So then she has a boyfriend that's a rapper, like Foo something. I don't know what the nigga's name is. Y'all can let me know. I don't know what his name is, but he got arrested and he got sentenced to 5 years in prison. And she said that she's gonna hold him down. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not. You in prison for 5 years. I'm not serving that prison sentence with you. Yeah, you better than me, because ain't no way in hell I can do that, right? So then we also saw Rennie Rucci. Her mom plays softball, and she has her own lounge. So then she's talking to her kids, right? And she tells her kids that, you know, she got some shows that she's got, you know, she got to go on, and that they aren't, unfortunately, not going to be coming with her because, you know, she said something about some lights. She has a lot of work to do. It's a lot of stuff that she has to do while she's on the road. So again, like I said, I'm not going to fault her, but she says once school ends and summer starts, pack your shit, you're coming home with me. I'm like, okay, cool. So then she asks the kids how they talk to their dad. The little girl says no, she hasn't talked to her dad because she blocked. No, that was a son. The little girl says she hasn't talked to the dad because he didn't reach out to her for her birthday. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. I think I've told you guys this story. I think I've told you guys this story plenty of times about me, right? So you guys know my birthday is July 16th. So I have a cousin whose birthday is, I think, a week after mine. I think his birthday is like literally the next week, right? So the year that I found out about my biological mother, I was talking about my birthday. She's like, when is your birthday? I'm like, you don't remember? She's like, no, I always get you and Pooh Bear's birthday confused. And I was just looking at her like, how? I mean, that's something you tell your child. That's something you tell someone that you gave birth to, you gave them up, and you never, to my knowledge, you never really came. Well, actually, it's not to my knowledge. You never came to see me or anything. You never came to see me or anything in any kind of capacity. But the first thing you say to me is, you get my birthday and your nephew's birthday confused. Unless you were a surrogate, unless you carried me and was a surrogate for his mom at the same time, I don't know how in the hell you got my birthday and his birthday confused. You gave birth to me, and I was a big ass baby. I was a 7-pound baby. I don't know how big he was, but I was a 7-pound ass baby. So I get how the little girl feels. Like, that's just, you just don't do that to kids, right? Then the little boy said he blocked him because he was talking about Foo. I'm like, okay, but the way Rennie talks is that, you know, Foo is the only father figure that they've known, I guess. But yeah, let's move on. All right, you guys, next let's talk about Amaretta. So Amaretta, she meets up with her brother and her sister, right? And they out to eat. So the sister is talking to Amaretta about what happened with her mom and the fact that Amaretta wrote that diss record about her mother, right? So at this point, you realize that Amaretta and her sister Khadijah, they have different views and opinions on the mother, right? We all know Amaretta thinks, you know, Amaretta's story is that her mom had the boyfriend and that her mom pushed her kids to the side for the boyfriend. But this Khadijah doesn't quite see it that way. She says to Amaretta that was bullshit and that she didn't intentionally do it. Now, when she said she didn't intentionally do it, I'm like, so are you saying that she did do it, but it wasn't intentional? Like, that was the thing that got me, right? That you said she didn't intentionally do it. So you know what you're saying? You know, you saying intentionally means that she did do it, but she didn't intend for that to happen. Which, I mean, for the life of me, I can't understand why you would do that. How do you put a man over your kids? Beyond me, right? But her sister telling her that she didn't like the diss track, and her brother like, but that's her truth, which that is the truth. Like and that is the one thing that I do want to say, that I didn't appreciate that, right? If you didn't believe that your mama pushed you to the side for the boyfriend, but Amaretta does, you can't tell her what her story is, because that's her story. You guys have different stories, and Amaretta did say you weren't always around. So, and that was the interesting thing when she said she wasn't always around. So where in the hell did she stay at if she wasn't always around? But that was my thing. But you know, the sister says that Amaretta and the mom, you two maybe should sit down and have counseling. I agree with that. I agree with that. So then we later see Amaretta. So it's her sister Khadijah and it's her cousin, right? So they go out to one of those places where you like, you know, smash things, like they have broken shit, and you just breaking it and smashing it. So what they're gonna do here is they're gonna basically just let out all the aggression, everything that they feel. It's gonna symbolize, you know, maybe a broken television or a broken vase or whatever. It's gonna symbolize that. You'll say it, you will smash the shit, and that'll be the last time that they discuss it, right? Well, unfortunately, things didn't go the way that they planned it, because Amaretta and her mom still cannot agree on what, you know, what's what. Now, granted, I get Amaretta's side, I get both sides of the coin, right? And I think the reason that Amaretta, even if it did happen, Amaretta's cousin, when they went outside, she said it to her. Maybe she's embarrassed, maybe she feels this way, but she came out there and told her, you stay out of it, like don't entertain her. But that's the truth. Well, maybe not the truth, I guess you would say. I don't like that's well. I'm gonna take that back. That's Amaretta's truth, and we're not gonna take away from her truth. But then her mom is saying that that didn't happen, so I'm not gonna take away. I'm not gonna take away from any one of them. There's the truth lies in the middle, right? But like I said, they can't come to an agreement on what happened. Now the thing that I noticed in this scene was they were doing a lot of smiling. So I'm just looking at that. But like I said, going back to it, you know, maybe it did happen. Maybe it did happen, right? And like the cousin said, maybe her mother is just embarrassed about what happened. You know, that definitely could be it, right? She could just be embarrassed, and she could definitely be embarrassed about the fact that this is going to be on national television. So here it is. It's one thing for us to have this conversation behind closed doors, right? But now we're having this conversation for millions of people to see it. So then millions of people are going to have an opinion about me and my parenting. And people are going to talk shit about me about the fact that, damn, you got with a man and put that man above your kids. So I can see if it, you know, and I'm not going to say if, I can see how she would feel that way, right? I can see how she would feel that way. But like I said, I'm not going to take away from Amaretta. Amaretta's story is her story. So I'm inclined to believe her story, you know, but something did happen, right? Something definitely obviously happened. Will we ever know? Probably not. But let's move on and wrap the episode up, you guys. All right, you guys, Sierra. Oh my God, the way she talks, it is hilarious to me, right? So we see Sierra. So Sierra is talking about the fact that she has this, what does she call it? This money monster course that she's doing, where she basically just teaches people to be bosses, be entrepreneurs, how to start a business, which is a good thing, right? Definitely a good thing, because we need more black businesses out there, right? So it's definitely a good thing, you know, give people the ins and outs, you know, tell them how to start, how to do a business plan, how to go seek out, you know, lenders, how to seek out their vendors, how to seek out this, how to do all this, the ins and outs. So I definitely, I'm gonna give my kudos to Sierra. But you guys know, I fucks with Sierra. I like Sierra, right? So she's saying that she's doing this graduation, right? Now she did say that she taught over 7,000 girls, right? Now this graduation, it was empty and scarce. very empty and scarce. I was like, it like it's about. At one point, I'm like, it's two girls, but then I'm like, there go another two girls right there. So, you know what is COVID? So I'm not even gonna hold Sierra, right? So then we find out that Sierra's having some issues with her sisters. So one of her sisters is a makeup artist, right? So the sister was working in Sierra's glam shop, and she was not paying booth rent. So Sierra put her ass out, and I don't blame Sierra, right? Because when it comes to family, we know how family is. Family sometimes when you get on, your family thinks that since you own, they ought to ride your coattails. They ought to, reap the benefits of you. So yeah, the sister probably got too comfortable in the shop. Like, yeah, this my sister's shop. Like, yeah, you work for my sister. I don't have to do. She probably got too comfortable and too lax, right? Let's keep it real. So then we later see in the episode where Sierra had her sisters come to the house. And oh my God. First of all, Camille, one of the sisters' name is Camille. Then the other two, one of the sisters is not there, Caladria. I was like, damn, where did her mama come up with these names? But okay. So when them twins sat down, I'm like, damn, these two look like they stay on ready because they were just sitting there with stank ass attitudes. I'm like, damn, y'all look like y'all ready to pop a itch, right? Speaking of which, Sierra did tell us that when she put her sisters, they on a family group chat, right? She said that her sisters put a hit on her. They were gonna set her up. I'm like, damn, your own flesh and blood? For what? Jesus Christ, right? But like I said, the twins had some stank ass attitudes, and Sierra told them, y'all are spoiled. Mama and Daddy took care of you. And then one of us was like, but Mama bought some of that furniture in your shop. She's like, we went half on it. Even if they went half on it, what they got to do with you? You in her shop. You ain't paying no booth rent, so you ain't got no room to talk. At least Sierra can say she's taking care of herself at this point. And then she tells them, y'all some ungrateful, jealous little bitches. I was like, well, damn. Tell them how you really feel. Now, they left, right? One of the sisters was going to go mess up Sierra's car. I was with Sierra, girl, if you let them touch my car, I'm going to whoop y'all ass and her ass. And she's like, you can't even fight, Sierra. Like, I ain't even drunk and I can beat you up. You could try. You could damn well try. But yeah. And then Sierra's like, I got your body done. Okay. See, yeah, them twins are spoiled. They done got spoiled and entitled. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Please leave your comments in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. And hit the notification bell button so you guys are aware when I drop anything else, and share the video. Until next time, stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands. Wear a mask. Please wear a mask or not. It's your choice. But whichever one you guys do, be blessed, be safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.